What's good, YouTube? What's good, Twitch? It's your boy Dgotsauce, and I'm back with another live stream. This is number 30, episode number 30, and we just want to give it up to us, man. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. I really do. Um, this is episode 30. This is a big one for us. This is definitely a big one. We have done this 30 times. 30 times. We're almost at 700 subscribers. And God is good, man. God is good. We're putting in the work and the results are showing. That's all I can really say. I thank you guys for tuning in though, man. I wouldn't be anything without you guys. I'm gonna continue to keep posting, continuing to keep spreading my piece, my entertainment, my voice, and making sure that I keep this thing nice and entertaining for y'all, but at the same time we keep it informative and we do what we got to do to make this place a better place. Thank you guys for tuning in again. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream if you're new, and then hit that subscribe button if you're really rocking with your boy. We're gonna get into the video, man. We're gonna get into the video, to the stream, sorry. And we want to start it off here. Um, Black crime has been going crazy. It's been going crazy. It's been going rampant, and obviously, uh, it doesn't get enough light because if it did, it wouldn't be this bad. But there's something going on in the Black community, something that we're facing. It could be spiritual, it could be very demonic, but there is a bind in certain places when it comes to the Black community of where we cannot stop killing each other or we cannot stop being involved with crime. I want this to sink in with y'all, man. Whoever tunes into this video, whoever sees this on the replay, these things only lead to two places. It leads to either jail or it leads to death. There's been so much black on black violence, so much black on black crime, that it's kind of just a segment now. It's a segment on the news. And for some reason, every single week, every single day, it's just another shooting, another person getting stabbed, another person dead, another argument, another domestic abuse. The list goes on and on and on. And I for sure will spread my voice and continue to let the world know that we do not stand for this. We got to clean up our act, we got to clean up our community, and we got to clean up the streets. We cannot keep blaming this on white supremacy. We can't keep blaming this on slavery. Too many of us are dying. Too many of us are dying very young at that. And we're gonna have to talk about this. We're gonna have to talk about this. Not only are we gonna have to talk about it, we're gonna have to stop it. This is not what we want to leave the future generations that is coming up after us. This is not what we want to leave for them. This is not what we want to leave. We don't want to leave crime. We don't want to leave gangs. We don't want to leave robberies. We don't want to leave murders. We don't want to leave none of that. None of these terrible, terrible demonic issues that have some of us in a chokehold. So we're gonna start off the show with this, and it's unfortunate what's going on, but we're gonna have to talk about it. Let's tune into this first video, where we're going off. We're starting off in Philadelphia. 8 teens were shot while they were waiting for a bus in Philadelphia, and there's been 2 arrested so far, maybe more to come. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on in the streets of Philadelphia.
Tonight, 2 suspects are off the streets after last week's mass shooting at a SEPTA bus stop in Burholme. 8 teenagers were injured in a barrage of bullets, and tonight police continue to search for even more suspects. It is Monday night. I'm Gray Hall. Shari Williams will join you for the news at 11. The big story tonight on Action News is the progress in the investigation into that shooting at a SEPTA bus stop that happened just last Wednesday. Today, police announcing the arrest of 2 suspects. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson joining us live tonight outside police headquarters. And Sharifa, you have the details on how officers were able to track down these suspects.
Yeah, Gray, police say this was the work of nonstop investigating on this case. They were able to take both of these suspects into custody only within a matter of days. They hope that this shows major progress in the case, but tonight they continue to search for 2 more suspects. This is video from the moment 18-year-old Anili Buggs was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals Saturday. The day before, police say 18-year-old Jamal Tucker turned himself in.
18-year-olds. 18-year-olds had so much life ahead of them, so much they could have accomplished, so much they could have done good in this world. And instead, now they're going to be put up in a jail cell and fed peanut butter sandwiches for the rest of their lives. Handsome young looking man. Could have gone far. Could have been a running back. Could have been a basketball player. But instead, he's a prisoner. He's a prisoner now. Let's continue, man.
Turned himself in. Philadelphia police, the mayor, and other leaders met today to announce their arrests. Both are now charged with the shooting that injured 8 Northeast.
These are the 2. These are the 2. I mean, sometimes we gotta say it, man. Some of us is just cursed, man. Some of us is just cursed. Some of us is gonna end up in this same rabbit hole, and they're gonna end up in the same prison cells. But for those that got clean minds and clear thoughts, I'd like you to know, don't do this. Don't go down this rabbit hole. Let's continue.
With the shooting that injured 8 Northeast high school students who were waiting for the bus last week. 7 boys and 1 girl, all between the ages of 15 and 17, were hit.
To our young people who were impacted, to know that we're making progress. We will not tolerate this type of violence on our streets or in our schools or near our schools.
Police say they developed suspects after recovering the stolen getaway car seen here in surveillance video. Buggs was also taken into custody with the gun that matched shell casings found at the scene. Police say the gun was a fully loaded and fully automatic pistol with a laser.
Young people who are trying to put it together, they deserve better, and they deserve to know that the city of Philadelphia is taking seriously what occurred.
At the news conference today, Mayor Sherrell Parker speaking on the bloodshed of the youth and the plans in the near future to implement a public safety plan for the city. Moving forward, it's an all-hands-on-deck approach as authorities continue to look for 2 more suspects. Tonight, they're encouraging them to turn themselves in.
Listen, it completely starts with the parents. That's first and foremost. We can't expect the police to do anything about it. We can't expect the schools to do anything about it. And we can't expect the mayor or the government to do anything about it. It starts with the parents. The parents have to do better jobs at raising their kids. The parents have to show their kids the right way to do things. And if they don't, they end up in this hole. they end up in the same place. It's it's just common sense, and it's sad. It's sad because a lot of people are going to end up in the same place.
You are involved, then get smart. Turn yourself in. That is exactly what happened with one person who was involved. And it's the smart thing for you to do.
And police, they did not reveal anything about a motive in this case or the roles that either of the suspects played in this shooting, but they did say they are looking into if this shooting is connected to another shooting, a deadly shooting that happened at a SEPTA bus stop in the city's Dgotsauce section last.
They could possibly be. They could possibly be involved with another shooting. Y'all tell me that's not sad. And y'all tell me that this don't happen often. 8 teenagers that just trying to get home from school. This is the nonsense that we leaving for our kids. This is demonic. This is just evil. No matter how you put it, no matter who did what to who, it's evil. It's evil. Um, Thank you guys for tuning in though. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. We gonna talk about some more crime because you guys think that this is it. You think that this is it, man? No, we dealing with a huge problem in the black community, and unfortunately, we we ain't getting better. It seems like we just keep going back down the same hole. This is another one. And this one was over a female or over a relationship. I have no idea. I have no idea the exact words that were said at this fight, but it leaves one person dead. Let's see what's going on in this video in Fort Worth.
Police records describe how an argument between two men led to one shooting the other in a popular entertainment district of Fort Worth. Fox 4's Dion Anglin has the update on this murder investigation. Dion.
Hi there, Clarice. Well, details from the weekend fatal shooting outline a dispute over a relationship. It also tells the story of how the violence played out with people recording it on their cell phones.
5 shots were fired from a 9mm gun, killing 29-year-old Bryson Rogers. The violence stemming from a heated argument that played out Saturday night on busy Crockett Street in the West 7th Street Entertainment District. All while several people recorded the mayhem with their cell phones. The details in the murder warrant affidavit for 29-year-old Karlov Palmer.
Carlos Palmer decided to shoot before he did anything else. Another black man. Another young black man under the age of 30 had so much life left to live. You can't tell me it's not a curse. You can't tell me it's not demonic, it's not evil. We're looking at demons. Because no one in their right mind would say, let me take it out of my own hands and kill someone. No one. But it constantly keeps happening in our community. Let's continue.
Jr. outline a dispute over a relationship. The court document is heavily redacted, protecting the identity of witnesses. It notes Rogers and his roommate were out with their 2 female dates when Palmer confronted one person in the group to express that he did not like a relationship between 2 unnamed people. During the back and forth, Bryson made a movement like he was slapping someone, which made Karlov yell, "Come slap me." It goes on to say Karlov Palmer crossed the street and approached the group again. Bryson finally slipped off his slides, handed his phone to someone as if to agree to fight Karlov. As Bryson handed the person his phone, Karlov shot at Bryson approximately 5 times.
Man just coming off a fresh date, got his John with him, got his girl with him. And he's probably walking back to the car. This dude across the street start yelling like a maniac, saying, "Yo, I don't like this," or whatever he might have said. Ends up coming across the street and confronting the two guys. The guy, he stands his ground. He says, "Yo, what we doing? What we doing?" He takes off his slippers. He takes his phone out of his pocket, and then he gets to putting up the fist, and all you know is gunshots just start ringing out. Gun starts just start ringing out. Everybody running, everybody scrambling. Another black man dead. Another one gone. And guess who shot him? Another black man. This is sad, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely sad, man.
One brief argument with no other physical violence or weapons that police say led to murder.
So if there is something that we can do better, my promise is that I will push the city to make sure that we're doing so.
It is a sad and frustrating issue for City Councilwoman Elizabeth Beck, who represents the district that includes the West 7th Street District. The latest violence and developments have prompted more discussion about its safety enforcement. Beck says stepped-up patrols, an open container ban, an upcoming ambassador program, and an outside study underway are some steps taken thus far.
Is that truly gonna help? Let's be honest here. What is that gonna help? How is that gonna help? How is that gonna help? We got so much evil, so much generational curses of walking around on the streets, and y'all expect that to help it? No, we got to get back to stricter crime rules, stricter crime laws. We got to get back to having more safer neighborhoods. We got to get back to family structure, because I'm pretty sure these guys weren't structured in no type of family. Clearly, maybe the guy that was trying to defend himself, but not the older guy, not the one that did the shooting. At least one of them tried to fight out the situation. But the other one he crashed. He's a crash dummy. He's a crash dummy.
We can't control who goes down there. We can't control the nature of the bars or restaurants per se, but we can make sure that we're doing our part, whether that's additional lighting, if that's a design change that we make. We're looking to see how we can best.
She has no idea. She got no idea what she can possibly do to help. In other words, additional lighting is not going to help. You put up security cameras, okay, so we can find the victims, we can find the murderers, we can find the people doing the crime. Yes, that'll help. But putting up more lights on the street, these people will do it in broad daylight if they have to. They will do this in broad daylight. It's sad what's going on here, man. It's really sad, man. It's sad.
Accommodate our entertainment districts.
Now, earlier, police would not say specifically how they identified Palmer. The affidavit points out there were witnesses who recorded part of the shooting as well as
Oh my God, man. That just makes me so upset, man. So upset. I'm praying for that guy and his family, those that were involved, of course. You never want to see anything like this happen, but it's happened. It's happened. And we got to do better. We got to do better as a community. We got to do better as people. Um, and it starts at home. It absolutely starts at home. There's nothing anybody can say to me that will make me change my mind or stance on that. And if you guys think that there's any other alternatives or any other options that will help this situation, also, please feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But this is sad, man. This is sad. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all viewership. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. We gonna get into the next topic though. We got one more video that I just want to show you guys because you know it's really bad out there in New York, especially in their subway stations for some reason. And this is breaking news right here. Crackheads are going crazy. I thought it was bad with the rats in the subways, but it seems like the crime in the subways is damn near right next to it. Let's continue on to this next story and see what's going on in the New York subways.
First at 5, a shocker on the subway. A group of people attacked by a stranger with fire. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gilma Avalos.
I'm Adam Cooperstein. Tonight, police are looking for that man you just saw holding 2 cans of fire on the subway platform. They say he lit the flammable liquid and then threw the cans at a group of strangers. The attack happened at the 28th Street stop in Chelsea along the 1 line. And police say that group was just standing on the platform when 2 flaming cans came flying their way.
This is what we doing on the streets, y'all. Look at my man's face. This is what we doing. 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 You mean to tell me I'm just trying to go to my job downtown today and I had to come in contact with this? Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I think he's probably off the fentanyl right here. This one is gone too. This one's another one that's gone. And he's on the loose as we speak. This man is running rampant. He's running free in the streets of New York. Who knows if they're gonna find this guy?
Thankfully, no one was hurt, but that guy who did it, he is still on the loose. And News 4's Checky Beckford is live in Chelsea. And, here we're looking at Checky, another random attack on the subway.
Another random attack indeed, Adam. And, we've seen some crazy things in the subway, but this one is right up there. Can you imagine standing down here and seeing some guy with fire in his hands and then him throwing it at you? Luckily, the cameras right here behind me captured it happen. Let's take a look at that video again, showing that man basically walking up to the turnstiles with the 2 canisters of fire in his hand. And police say after that video stops, he actually threw it at a group of people who were standing on the other side. Police say that was unprovoked, that those people had not done anything to the man, but for some reason he targeted them. That unfortunately, though, no one was hurt or injured.
That is straight up crack cocaine. That's a crackhead. It gotta be. It gotta be. It gotta be a crackhead. Look at this, man. He's here talking to himself. He's mad at somebody. And these random pedestrians are just standing off to the side, just cooling it. And this guy comes out of nowhere talking crazy and then throws a can of flaming oil or whatever is in that can at these people. You can't make this stuff up, people. You cannot make this stuff up. You can't not make this stuff up, bro. This is bad. This is bad. It's only getting worse in the streets of New York, it seems like. Last week, somebody got thrown into the tracks. Lady lost her legs. The week before that, somebody got shot. This week, flaming cans. What's next?
Injured as a result of this. And again, that guy got away. Take a listen to what riders here had to say when we showed him the video.
That's crazy. You know, I don't even know what to say. You can't just do this to kill people like that. No. It gets one random, that's it.
And you could see what the man was wearing there pretty clearly. But police, in addition, gave this description of him wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt underneath a black jacket, black pants, and black sandals. This happened on February 5th. It's unclear.
Get that demon off the streets, please. If y'all know anything about that guy, and y'all are good, genuine people, get him off the streets, please. That is sad, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. We got to do better, people. We got to do better, especially us black people, man. We this is sad, man. Y'all got us looking out here looking crazy all over the news every single week. It's either we killing somebody, we acting like crackheads, or we robbing somebody, or we shooting each other. Jesus. Ah, man. Wow. That's sad, y'all. That is sad. Thank you guys for tuning in, though. We're going to get into the next topics, man. We're going to move out of the crime. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Your boy's doing great, man. Your boy's doing great. Your boy's feeling good. It's episode 30. We 3 away from 700 subscribers. You know we going hard, man. We going hard. We going hard. We doing what we got to do because, you know, this is the grind. And we love the grind. We love the hustle. We're all about that. And we all about pushing the people to do better every single day. And that's our goal. One day at a time, one brick at a time, whatever you want to do, however you want to put it. We step into success every single day. Every single day. And I hope you're doing the same. We're gonna get into this next topic, man. Hey, big news. Big news. It is a presidential rematch. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. We are here to see it. The WWE Championship, the United States is on the line, and we are going to see within the next 8 months who is going to be our next president. Let's tune into this video and see what's going on here.
The battle for the White House is set to be a rematch between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. Tonight, both men secured the required delegates to be their respective party's nominee.
And the next 8 months expected to be a fierce fight for the White House, but both candidates face serious challenges in their bid for a second term.
John Fanilio live from the News Center. We're tracking the primary and caucus results tonight, John.
Sandra Micah, with the delegates locked up, both the president and former president are charging towards a November rematch in what will be one of the longest general election campaigns in history.
The Biden-Trump rematch is officially here after both candidates secured the delegates needed to earn their party's nomination.
Now, let's be honest and let's be clear. This is what we all wanted to see, all right? Whether you like him or you like her or you like them, this is what we came for. This is what the U.S. people wanted to see, the rematch. Nobody cared about Nikki Haley. Nobody cared about whoever else was on the Democratic side. And nobody damn sure cared about Ron DeSantis. But shoot, we wanted to see this. And I want to know who you guys got this year, man. Who you guys got? It's going to be a close one, I think.
Nomination for president. President Biden secured the 1,968 delegates needed to win the Democratic nomination. Mr. Trump easily won the 1,215 delegates to lock up the GOP nomination. In Georgia, the president won more than 95% of the vote. The former president got more than 80%. Mr. Biden and Trump also handily won in Mississippi and Washington.
Are you ready to protect our freedom?
The president, hungry for a general election fight, releasing this ad moments after securing the delegates needed to head to the Democratic convention this summer, and releasing a statement saying, in part, I am honored that a broad coalition of voters representing the rich diversity of the Democratic Party across the country have put their faith in me to once again lead our party and our country in a moment when the threat Trump poses is greater than ever.
Hey, and then he falls asleep right after like this. Everybody knows Joe Biden's too old for this, man. Everybody know, but y'all got a lot of faith on him in the Democratic side. And we gonna see what actually happens with this, yo.
Former President Trump posting to social media, saying in part, our party is united and strong and fully understands that we are running against the worst, most incompetent, corrupt, and destructive president in the history of the United States.
Of course, Donald Trump is gonna take his shots and he's gonna throw his shots back. It's just known. It's just a part of the entertainment. It's a part of the politics. This is insane, man. We got two juggernauts going at it. I got Donald Trump winning. But we gonna see what happens.
Both have been vying hard for support in Georgia, a crucial swing state Biden won by a narrow margin in 2020, and where Mr. Trump is not only leading in the polls, but facing felony charges for trying to overturn the 2020 election.
And to all Americans, whether you are a Republican, an independent, or a disillusioned Democrat, of which there are many, all you had to do is watch that horrible State of the Union. That was the worst president in history.
This as both the current and former presidents met with foreign leaders. President Biden hosting Polish President Andrzej Duda and Prime Minister Donald Tusk.
Now we broke down Joe Biden's State of the Union a couple of days ago, and he said some pretty interesting stuff during the State of the Union. To me, he wasn't like it wasn't like, yeah, I gotta run out and vote for Biden now. It wasn't like that. For me, it was more like, this is my talking points. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what I would like to do. And pandering to certain people. I saw a lot of pandering. And of course, both sides are pandering to certain people. And both sides want certain things done. But they do definitely have different opinions on a lot of things.
At the White House Tuesday, the Polish president calling on the U.S. and other NATO allies to continue their defense funding of Ukraine against Russia's invasion. Mr. Trump hosting Hungarian President Viktor Orban, a Russian ally, at his Florida estate on Sunday. Orban telling Hungarian media that Mr. Trump will not fund Ukraine's fight against Russia if reelected to the White House.
Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. telling CNN tonight that he'll announce his vice presidential nominee within the next 2 weeks. Kennedy says contenders include NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers, former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura, and Democratic Representative Tulsi Gabbard, just to name a few. Sandra Micah, sending it back to you.
John, thanks.
Okay.
A man is now.
Shout outs to him. We're gonna see what's going on with that, man. We're gonna stay in tune all the way through the entire year, the rest of this 8 months, to see what's going on with the presidential candidacy. Who's gonna come out with the most talking points? Who's gonna come out with the most heat, the most stuff that people want to hear? And who's actually gonna fulfill the stuff that they say they're going to do? Because I believe that Trump is a man of his word. Actually, he might not have the best character, but he is a man of his word. Biden, on the other hand, he promised so many people a lot of things, and he just seemed to not come through with some of those promises. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen. It's going to be a close one, but I think they're there's going to be a little shift more towards the Republican side this year. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Make sure you guys leave a like on your way in, and make sure you guys leave a like on your way out. We gonna get into this next topic, and to me, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I posted this video a couple of days ago, and had some interesting comments. Trump had gone to the Black Conservative Federation and had spoke, and he had said some stuff during the federation that was a little funny, and some stuff that was a little, ooh, should he have said that type of thing? So, um, we gonna see. We're gonna see. This video right here is just a little bit of what the people thought about what Trump said at the Black Confederation Federation. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on with
I
this.
want to play something that the former president said last night to Black conservatives. Let's play that.
I got indicted a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that that's why the Black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. The mugshot, we've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The Black population. It's incredible. You see Black people walking around with my mugshot.
That is some crazy stuff right there. I can't lie. Ooh, I don't know if he should have said that one. But you still got some people in the background like, as if he said something that we should be clapping for. And this is the delusional part about some of you Black people, some of us Black people, is that we just accept this nonsense that they're feeding us. Let's continue.
And Jake asked James Clyburn about that. Also, President Biden had said something recently. He said, Donald Trump has been showing Black Americans his true colors for years, an incompetent anti-Black tyrant who holds us to such low regard that he publicly dined with white nationalists a week after declaring his 2024 candidacy. Come November, no matter how many disingenuous voter engagement events he attends, Black Americans will show Donald Trump we know exactly who he is. What do you think of the support that he's been getting?
I don't think it's real. And I don't know if anybody else would disagree with me at this table. I do think that there are two different things that could be true at the same time. One is that the Democratic Party has for a very long period of time taken Black voters for granted. And there is a question right now about the energy that is behind Joe Biden from Black voters and supporting him in November. That is true. What's also true and can be said is that Donald Trump is a racist who utilizes racism as a political currency. I can remember going back in studio in 2016 when Jake Tapper was interviewing him about David Duke, and he acted like he didn't know who David Duke was.
Listen, I don't know who David Duke is. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if Donald Trump is racist, then a lot of people are racist. A lot of people. And honestly, I believe that everybody got a little bit of racism in them. But let's be honest here. Even Black people, Spanish people, Asian people, and white people. All of us have racism in us. It's just embedded in us from birth. All of us want our race to be the best. All of us want the best out of our race. All of us have something to say about each other when it comes to race. And it's just the honest truth. Both sides have rights. Both sides have some racism in them.
The eve of the Mississippi primary. The fact that he keeps, and even Lindsey Graham said it tonight, that, you know, Black Americans have a propensity to commit crimes, et cetera, to hypersexualize us, to hypercriminalize us, to keep falling into these tropes. That is the type of racism that plays to the base of his party. he says these things to black voters to their faces, the ones who are ignorant enough to be in that room, not talking to them. That's what people miss. Donald Trump is not talking to black voters when he goes down these tropes. He's actually talking to white voters and to his base to churn them up and build in a lot of the resentment that we see.
No, I disagree with that. I believe he is talking to black voters. He is talking to black people, and he's being damn near absolutely blunt. We have terrible communities that do go out and shoot each other. Our inner cities are corrupt. Our inner cities are wicked. And it's not just the doing of white people, it's the doing of our own selves. It's black on black violence. It's not black people attacking white people. It's not black people attacking them or them or them. It's black on black violence. So I believe he is talking to some of the people when he says um, um, black people supported me because I had a mugshot. Because a lot of black people, especially in those inner cities, got mugshots.
A lot of the things that we see that are going on in this country about people who are coming out is because there's some fear that they're being replaced either by black or brown voters. And when you see him talking down to black folk in their face, there is a large swath of the American public who says, I like the way that sounds. And that's the currency that he uses. So I think two things can be true. The Democratic Party has been laying on their asses for too long when it comes to black voters. That is true. You're seeing that catch up with him. And Donald Trump's a racist.
Yeah, but what explains, I mean, I don't, far be it from me to explain, African-American voting, right? But what explains his rise in popularity? And every poll you see, something has to account for that, right?
Well, a couple things. First of all, everything that you just said is correct, which is why the vast majority of black people, male, female, every category, are going to vote against Donald Trump again.
Correct.
So that's the big solid rock.
What up, stand up?
But there is this margin that's beginning to waver and beginning to move, which is what you're talking about. And I think that there are some people. Look, I mean, when he holds up the sneakers and does that stuff, I mean, Trump, that stuff is horrifying to anybody with good sense. But where's the motion coming from? I think there's some frustration in the Democratic Party that you're talking about, Bakari, that we've been taking for granted. That some of our issues didn't get taken seriously enough this time around, whether it's voting rights, whether it's police reform, et cetera. And there's some fatigue. And so, and I think you're starting to see that. I think there is this weird nostalgia that is about, under Trump, the pre-COVID, the economy was better. We got some criminal justice reform and some of the stimulus support was well.
A lot of people want to see the economy go back to normal. And I think that is a lot of what the black issue is more leaning towards Trump with. I think that's why a lot of people in the black community want to see money in their pockets. And a lot of people in the white community want to see money in their pockets. And a lot of people are struggling right now. Everybody's feeling it. And they're trying to frame Trump as a racist. Okay, you can do that. You can do that. You can frame him as a racist if you want. But the words that are coming out of his mouth, it's real talk. We got to clean up our streets. We need a better economy. We got to be tougher on crime. Because if you go to Japan, none of this stuff is happening over there. I really liking your show. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me. I love you. I love you. Thank you for tuning in always. A lot of people in Japan, you can't even put a cigarette out on the floor in Japan. That's how strict they are over there. It is a super clean environment. Low crime. Barely any robberies. Barely anybody trying to shoot anybody. There's none of that stuff going on in these type of communities. But it seems like in our neighborhoods and in certain neighborhoods, it's very trashy, a lot of crime, and it must be stopped.
Welcome. So what's actually happening, though, is that there is an online influence campaign
Correct.
Some of it, I think, is coming from Russia, China, and Iran. That is whipping up that conversation way in unnaturally.
Yeah, but let me ask you again.
You asked a question, I want to answer it.
Go ahead.
So there's a solid block that's not going to move. There is some actual legitimate frustration and fatigue, but there's also, and we have to talk about it more, an online influence campaign designed to depress and distress black voters and to split black voters.
Let me just put it on the screen. Let me just look at poll numbers for 2000, going back to 2008.
It's completely different. I'm telling you, stand up. It's true. It's completely a different environment, and that's the type of environment that we the people want to be in. We don't want to be able to. We don't want to go outside and have to look over our shoulders and make sure we're not gonna get robbed and make sure we're not gonna get stood up by a gun. Like, we want to go to the corner store and we want to have our kids out in the streets running around. Like, this is what should be happening, but it's not happening in some of these streets.
Seeing some sort of a shift among black men siding with the Republican Party. We put that up for McCain, 5%, Romney in 2012, 11%, Donald Trump 2016, 13%, Donald Trump 2020, 19%.
Can I put it out there that it says black male support? And one thing we're not acknowledging is the growing gender divide that is happening across the board with partisanship, that men in general are trending more Republican, yes. Women in general, especially young women, are trending more Democratic, and that this is affecting. You could probably talk very similarly about Latino men, et cetera.
Yes.
So that's one thing. And the other thing is we do have a tendency to blow up this particular dialogue, which has been around for a very long time. There have always been black conservatives, and they've always made a very similar argument, which is that the Democratic Party takes you for granted. I actually don't hear anything all that new in this, but I understand what you're saying about optics, which I think is important to show that I'm out here just saying whatever, I'm not worried about microaggressions or wokeism or any of that stuff. I'm out here telling the truth. There could be lots of reasons why people might want to wear a Trump mugshot shirt. It doesn't necessarily mean.
I agree with her. Definitely, it is a lot more men, black men, that are leaning more towards Trump. There's definitely some black women too, but they're more Democrat, and I understand why too. People act like we can't be conservative, like we don't have core values, like we don't have biblical values. Hey Jen, how are you? But we have certain values also that we want to see come to light. We love family. We love the nuclear family, and this is what we want to see, and this is how we want to, and this is what we want to pass on to the future generations. And that's not just a thing in the black community, that's a thing in all communities. A lot of communities, every community wants to see family, structure, and a good balance of life, work, and play. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
It doesn't mean the Trump curious are not the Trump committed, and that's just something to consider.
There just a chance that the Trump message resonates with African Americans? Isn't there a chance?
Of course it is. But let's be realistic. But let's be realistic about what we're talking about. We're not talking about people just straight up waltzing over to Trump. We're talking about people who decide, I don't care enough about this election because I don't think either candidate will materially change my life. That is where the Trump curious becomes more important.
That's the frustration that I have, because Joe Biden has done a great deal for people of color in this country. And the disconnect is the messaging around the successes that he's had. And the fact that they're not actually out there, and they're trying to now, and they're getting around to that.
I just want to say one quick thing, and I know others want to get in. One of the great achievements, I think, of progressive black leadership has been to hold the black and brown communities together despite immigration. And that is beginning to erode. In other words, there was in the 90s, especially in California, there's an attempt to pit black and brown together, saying the immigrants are taking black jobs in particular. And we beat that back. We said, we're not going to let this economic argument put us in the camp what we think is basically a fundamentally racist attempt to push brown people down and to create brown second-class citizens. And I think that was a huge achievement. And people now take it for granted that black and brown people are going to vote together. Because of what's happened, it's very important, because of these Republican governors shipping immigrants into blue cities, and they're landing in black communities and in places like New York and other places, black students are not able to go to schools and use facilities sometimes because this artificially manufactured conflict between black and brown folks at the grassroots level.
Hold on a second. Shipped by Republican governors.
Listen, man. Listen. It's very simple, man. It's very simple. Give the people what they want, and they'll definitely gravitate towards you. It's that simple. And the Democratic Party has not been giving the people what they want. They've been giving some people, like the LGBTQ community, and those that are migrating over here. But the actual people that's been here, they're not doing nothing about the homeless situation. They're not doing nothing about the crime. It's sad. It's sad. It's not even being brought up, to be honest with you. It's not even being brought up. It's a fact.
Most of them are not transplanted as photo
we can argue about, but
New York Times told me that.
But we can argue
Well,
about.
then.
I think it's important now because
Absolutely.
Obama coalition, and which you know more about than anybody else, and the Biden coalition assumed certain groups would stay together. And you are seeing some of that beginning to fray. We should be able to talk about it.
Can I say one thing on this quickly? Because when I was with Donald Trump, I remember he engaged in some of this very pandering language. I'd say offensive pandering.
Yes. They are, man, and this is the thing about it. We can move on to the next subject, but this is the thing about it, man. They have the chance. They have the chance to grab certain sections. They have the chance. They have the chance to grab more white voters. They have the chance to grab more black voters. They have the chance to grab more Asian, Hispanic voters. But the way they go about it, is like they're acting like they don't really care. They don't really care. I don't want to hear the excuses from the black people either. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to hear those excuses. Our problems should be fixed. They should be fixed. And if it's not fixed by the government, it got to be fixed by the people. It got to be fixed. They don't care about it's a fact. They don't care. They don't care about the homeless or crime. They don't. Oh man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day, man. I hope y'all are having a good time. I hope y'all are having a good time. We on episode 30. We on episode 30. 30. I'm not 30 yet, but soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. The chat is nice and active tonight. I love it. We're gonna get onto this next episode, next topic though. This is based off in Harlem. We got more migrant updates and more migrants coming in, and people in Harlem are taking care of these migrants. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on in Harlem, New York.
Well, now to our series, Migrants in America. Tonight, a closer look at the West African population that's arriving here in New York City.
While some people welcome the new arrivals, others are having a hard time accepting the influx of migrants. Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini reports from Harlem.
Central Harlem, West 116th Street, between Malcolm X and Frederick Douglass Boulevards, an area defined as Little Senegal years ago, has become home base for new migrants and asylum seekers from West Africa, like this woman from Senegal, who in French tells me she got to New York City the 7th of February. Through word of mouth, she says she learned she could find help at the Senegalese Association of America. The small office, located on 116th, has a newfound level of need. Traditionally a place for Senegalese immigrants to get resources, now it's packed constantly, assisting migrants on immigration matters like asylum claims and other things required to settle in America. Mama
Listen, they are doing it in New York. They are doing it in New York. They're bringing them in and they're accepting them. They're telling them, "Hey, this is how you do it. This is what we're gonna do." I I didn't know they was this nice in New York, man. I honestly I heard they was hiding in laundromats. I heard they had them hidden in basements. And now they're telling them to come into this immigration spot in Harlem, and they're going to register them. They're going to make sure that they can get their papers together. They're going to make sure that they find a job. They get a place to eat. They get a place to sleep. This is big news. This is big news in New York.
Drame is the president of the association. He says the new demands on his office, fueled by the surge of migrants coming to New York City, forced him to expand what's offered here.
We usually do work from Monday through Friday, but we open Saturday and Sunday for the folks.
Every individual.
He's a migrant. He's a migrant. You can literally hear it in his voice. He's a migrant helping migrants. It makes sense.
Still has their own story, and on this day here in Central Harlem, this woman decided to share hers in her own words. In Senegal, I lived with a girl and my family didn't support it. I had problems with my brothers and sisters, she says, adding her sexual orientation was putting my life in danger.
Let's take the example of Senegal that we know better. If you are, let's say, a gay person, you are most likely subject to a target. You can be stoned to death.
Drame says the growing demand on his office is not only
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. They strict over there with their rules, huh?
coming from Senegalese migrants, but new asylum seekers from different parts of West Africa.
To mingle with your folks, to speak your language, you feel a sense of belonging.
African migrants crossing the U.S.-Mexico border are among the almost 200,000 that have made their way to New York City since spring of 2022, many arriving in buses from Texas. The strain on city resources, including shelters, is being felt by all asylum seekers.
Some of these
people are living on the streets. Over 200,000 migrants is just coming alone this year in New York. Sheesh. How are they even fitting all these people? I know New York is already packed. These people are sleeping on the floors. They're sleeping on each other. They're sleeping on top of each other in bunk beds. It's crammed basements, and they're doing anything and everything they got to do just to make sure. Just to make sure. It's crazy what's going on, man. And this is not something new. Again, this is not something new. We've known this to be happening. We've seen this happening already, but just the fact that we're seeing now the other side of things where people are actually trying to help these migrants stay instead of pushing them away. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Folks are sleeping on the ground, train stations, outside.
Language, we've learned, is an extra barrier for African asylum seekers.
People were saying that they were stinking, they don't shower. But we just realized that the shelter system, they use a language that these folks don't understand. You're going to be talking in English or in Spanish because these people, they understand French or the local languages.
There are cultural barriers too.
Some of the shelters are really hard for some of our folks because if you're a Muslim and then the food that they offer in the shelter, because they don't eat pork, they don't eat ham.
Drame says the situation is causing more and more migrants from Africa to navigate towards not only his office, but the area of Harlem it sits in.
Community does what community does. New York does what New York does. America does what America does, which is generally, we'd like for it to welcome immigrants.
Longtime Harlemite and Deputy Borough President Keisha Sutton James says to
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Harlem is pro migrants. At least this side of Harlem. Harlem is pro migrants. It's crazy. This is crazy. New York is pro migrants. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a migrant, y'all know where to go.
Her, it's not surprising at all. She's lived in the area for decades.
And they're doing the work that they can do without a work permit. So that's a lot of times delivery work. Have a lot of downtime.
Right.
So they are, as I'm told by Senegalese community leaders, as I'm told, they are spending time hanging out in between their deliveries, you know, on the street again, where they have, when I say on the street, I'm saying on the sidewalk and the street, hanging out with, you know, other folks that they know.
And 116th is generally where they're congregating, right by the Senegalese Association of America and right across the street from Canaan Baptist Church. Senior Pastor Thomas Johnson shares his take.
I got to tell you, the wave came in like a tsunami. It didn't trickle in. One day, I pulled up into my parking space, and there it was. There they were, hundreds.
The pastor says many are uncomfortable with the new faces.
Can you imagine that though? Like you going through your everyday life, you know what I'm saying? You're just going to work, whatever, school, whatever. And you step outside and then there's just a whole 100,000 people outside your house, just out on the streets. I be like, yo, what's going on out here? Me personally, I'll be like, what is going on out here in these streets? Oh, they just migrants. Just let them go. Okay, all right. So I'm just supposed to just cover my eyes and just let y'all just stand in the streets in front of my apartment. Oh yeah, they're just migrants. We accept them here. Let's mind your business. No, I need answers. What's going on here? Where y'all coming from and why y'all here? I'm not mad that you're here. I'll be honest with you. Like I get it. Everybody wants to come to America, but why are y'all in front of my house? I'll be honest. Y'all gotta take that somewhere else. Be honest with you.
I don't go to 116. I used to go to 116. I avoid that area at all costs.
Like Anita Elam, who has lived in Harlem for decades.
It's overwhelming. It's scary, but it is what it is.
Why are you scared?
I don't know them. It's just a lot of them. They're just all over the place.
Community leaders confirm recent headlines of migrants committing crimes, like the group responsible for attacking 2 NYPD officers in Times Square, are fueling some of the concerns in Harlem. But Drame says the majority of those here are not making trouble, rather just looking for a safe place and acceptance.
We exist in peace. Most of these people, they just run away from being jailed, from repression, from persecution.
The realities of their lives might not be apparent at a glance, but their presence is surely being felt as New York City continues to contend with its migrant crisis.
They keep coming, and I don't see an end to this anytime soon.
Man, they got the whole of Africa in New York. They got the whole of Africa in New York, and it seems like they like it. Let's give a hand clap for New York. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I'm not in New York. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I'm not in New York. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that video. Let me know how you guys feel about that down below in the comments. It's looking like Harlem likes these migrants, man. Harlem likes these migrants. This is big news. This is big news, and hey, good luck to them. Good luck to them. We're gonna move on to this next episode, next topic. I keep saying episode, my gosh. We're gonna move on to this next topic. I got a few more topics that I can do, but this next topic that we're gonna talk about is about our friends from the she her / they them / him he community. You know, those guys. Um, apparently, there's been a high school women's basketball team that played in their normal season. They're playing against, women. And next thing you know, a boy with a longer uh, hair follicles comes on the court. And what do you think happened? What do you think happened? I'll tell you what happened. He broke somebody's back. He broke somebody's back. At this point, I'd rather live with cows. I'd rather live with cows for sure, Jen. But this guy decided that he wanted to get on the court with other females and play basketball with them, and they ended up having to quit the game because this guy was actually physically hurting the females. Let's tune into the video and see what's happening on this side of town.
Except this video showing boys playing on girls' teams is anything but fair. It's dangerous. This isn't about the suspected transgender kid. It really isn't. We should all have compassion for anybody who's going through such a difficult and confusing time as a teenager. So just put him or her, or however they would like to be identified, aside for a second. This is about all the other girls on the court. They also deserve fairness. There's nothing fair about playing against people born of the opposite sex who are twice one size. There's nothing fair about getting beat up.
Y'all see how this boy is just manhandling these females? It's not UFC, bro.
On a basketball court where the referees live in fear of trans activists. There's nothing fair about a school where the coaches do the right thing only for the administrators to both sides their statement. Sylvia Hatchell is with us, former head basketball coach for the University of North Carolina Lady Tar Heels, the 5th most career wins in women's college basketball history. In an odd way, are you happy of all the issues that you had to deal with that this wasn't one of them?
Yes, I am. And I would like to pat the coach on the back for taking his team off and taking a stand, because playing against transgenders, it's not fair and it's not equal. It's not a level playing field. So the females should not have to play against transgenders.
Women's sports is women's sports. Y'all men need to stay out of it. Y'all cannot, this is not acceptable, man. Just stay out of it. If you were born a biological male, compete against biological male, even if you feel like a woman. Like, you're not. You're not. This ain't right. This ain't fair. And these are a bunch of people's daughters out here having to deal with this nonsense. It's nonsense.
We're going to get to sort of the issues of where this is going in society in a minute. But one thing that's sort of bothered me from the beginning about this, especially when it's a physical sport, that there's so clearly a difference, right? Average male player, 6 feet, wingspan 5'6", vertical jump 28 inches. Average women's players 5'6". I think this is in high school. 5'2", and a 20-inch wingspan. There's no comparison here. And obviously we can see the video. This individual we're talking about is over 6 feet tall, clearly physically very different. Do you have any idea why young men want to compete against young girls? I don't get it.
Well, maybe they can't be successful playing against guys.
That is it. That's the truth. That's the truth right there. They won't be successful playing against men like they are. So they decide to go where the competition is easier for them and they dominate over there. I don't even mean to laugh, but this is just like, come on. It's obvious. It's obvious. They can't, They can't fool anybody out there.
And so, they play against women just like the swimmer did against Brittany Gaines. So I don't know, but it's just not fair and equal. In '72, I was a sophomore in college when Title IX was passed. Title IX was passed to make things fair and equal for females. And having to play against transgenders is not fair and it's not equal. If you just made this point, if you're 6'5", you're 6'5". I don't care if you've had an operation or you're taking hormones or what, you're still 6'5". And the wingspan, I mean, it's just not fair and it's not equal. It's disappointing that we're actually having to go through this and debate this. So, but
it is disappointing. And you can look at the video, you could clearly tell, bro. That's a whole guy. You could just clearly look at him and see, like, oh, that's just a guy with a ponytail on. like this is not fair, y'all. It's not fair. At some point we got to protect women's rights, and if the women don't want it, like obviously, like I think that's a clear sign that it should not be happening.
Yeah. But it does sometimes feel like you're arguing against the wind when you're sort of saying what you're saying, which is this not fair. Look, in the case of Leah Thomas, the swimmer who you're talking about, there's no chance of people getting hurt, right? It's not fair, perhaps, that someone can, some young man or some man beats a woman's swimmer and takes away what is rightfully their honor of being the fastest swimmer or something. But in this case, you actually are dealing with kids getting injured. You've seen a lot of changes in sports, and obviously when Title IX was passed, it was extraordinarily controversial. Where do you see this going now? What has to happen, you think, for this to actually change?
Well, a lot of states have already made rulings, but it's probably going to end up in the Supreme Court. I would see that it going there, but you're talking about why would a transgender want to play, a male transgender want to play against females? Well, maybe he's not that successful playing against men, and he can feed his ego and be successful playing against females. So, but again, the injuries are there, and then also the opportunities for other women to be on that court and be playing, when the transgender is out there. But
and nothing against women. Women are phenomenal people. They're phenomenal athletes in their own ways. But I'm not gonna be boasting and bragging if I play a basketball game against a female and I think that I'm so good. I'll be honest with you. It's sad. It's sad. If that's feeding his ego, he needs. I mean, he already needs help, but he needs help. He needs help. That's sad, man. It's sad, and that's in Boston, Massachusetts. That's in Boston, Massachusetts. World might be coming to an end, y'all, man. World might be coming to an end. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Let me know how you guys feel about that down in the comments. Y'all know how I feel already. It ain't got to be said no more. Let's tune into this last video of the night, though. I thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a like on your way out if you're leaving me. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if y'all are rocking with your boy. This is the last. This is the last. This is the last video of the night. I don't like it either. I don't like it either. This is the last video of the night. We've been keeping in touch with what is going on in Haiti. I don't know if you guys follow what's going on, but I've been keeping in touch with what's going on in Haiti with the rest of my the past lives that I've been doing. A lot of craziness has been happening over in the seas in the island of Haiti, to the point where gangs have been they pretty much taken over the capital. They've taken over the capital and they've forced their prime minister to step down. This is breaking news. This is new news. We're just getting this information today. The Prime Minister of Haiti has officially stepped down. There is no leadership in Haiti right now, and this is what the gangs wanted. Now that they have it, what is going to happen? Are they now going to try to step into power, or are they going to let the people have a free, unbiased election? Let's tune into the video and see what's going on in the streets. Haiti.
The situation in Haiti is worsening by the day, despite Haiti's prime minister announcing his resignation.
Gangs, which are now working with each other, control much of the country's capital, including the airport. A team of U.S. Marines has been deployed to help protect the U.S. Embassy in Port-au-Prince. Neighboring Dominican Republic, meantime, is cracking down on undocumented Haitians and sending them back across the border. But many others remain stranded inside Haiti with no way out.
We do hear a lot of gunfire. Last night was peaceful, thank the Lord. But every day usually is full of gunfire during the day and at night. We're about 1 mile from the airport, and so we hear everything that's going on either here or at the embassy.
This poor woman can't even not get it. She can't even get out of Haiti right now. She's stuck. She's stuck. She either got to go to DR, or she has to wait till everything calms down and cools down. And it's sad. It's sad what's going on out there in the streets of Haiti. It's very, very sad.
CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides joins us once again from the Haiti-Dominican Republic border. You've been there now for more than a full day, Christian. Tell us what you've been seeing at this border crossing since you've arrived now.
Errol, well, we've spoken to a number of Americans that have made the treacherous journey in order to be able to get to this border. Today, we talked to one man who's from Rockford, Illinois. He had tried to get here on Monday and on Tuesday, but there were blockades on the road by criminal elements. And so what that meant was this morning, he woke up very early this morning. In fact, we were here as the gates opened. And he told me, look, I woke up really early this morning because I wanted to get there before those blockades were in place. He says that his wife lives in Haiti and he needs to get back home for a while. He can't get her a visa. And right now, as we mentioned, people who are in Haiti who do not have a foreign passport really are unable to get out. And which is just to make it clear, if people live on these border towns, typically people are coming and going on a daily basis for commerce, for personal reasons. But this, for the time being, has been paused because of the crisis happening inside of Haiti.
DR even closed their borders. Let's give it up for DR, man. They're doing better with their migrant crisis than the United States. They're doing better with their migrant crisis than the United States. They saying, no, you guys cannot come over here with that. Y'all got to stay over there. Our borders is closed. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to them. And I understand because they don't want this stuff trickling over into their city, into their island, which makes perfect sense.
As far as other Americans who may be in the Port-au-Prince region, where we know 80% is controlled by gangs, they are unable to move from wherever they are. So we've heard of private rescues that have started to take place, people that have been getting out by private helicopter and private companies. This is also why the U.S. Marines went in for a second time in order to drop off more Marines to guard the base, or to guard the embassy, to guard the U.S. Embassy in Port-au-Prince, and also to get people that are non-essential workers back to the United States. So that's the current state of affairs. To give you some more background, we're across from Cap Haitian, which for the most part, is they're living their day-to-day as they typically would, with some major exceptions, which are things like fuel. Fuel, we are told by people who have crossed over, is about 5 times as expensive than it would normally be because of the blockade happening by the gangs that are in Port-au-Prince. Things
they got tires burning just in the city, just like that, flames and all types of nonsense. But look, this is terrible. This is terrible. What's going on? You know, I'm grateful sometimes too, people. I'm grateful because when I look outside, I don't have to deal with this. I might have to deal with a little bit of crime, here and there. Might have to deal with some drug addicts or whatever the case may be, but this stuff is I don't want to deal with this. I can only imagine what the people in Haiti are, how they're actually feeling. They can't even go to the grocery store. They can't go get gas. They can't go to a supermarket, a corner store without running into a blockade filled with gangs and guns.
like food, things like other supplies that you need for daily living that come out of the capital are really choked. So it's difficult to get a hold on those sort of things, and that's what's currently taking place right now. At least that, and Americans that we've spoken to via things like Zoom, they tell us that even though we contact some people, it's just too dangerous to get out.
Yeah, and Christian, I was so compelled watching you and Errol talk yesterday and seeing the people who are literally stopped there at the border trying to get out. Talk to us about the humanitarian aid and options for people who are really in a desperate situation there, as well as the Transitional Council and this push for free elections in Haiti, trying to resolve the problem. What's that timeline look like?
Man, it was already rough in Haiti. It was already rough in Haiti. And it just got a lot worse throughout these past couple months. It got a lot worse. It's sad to see, but we're praying for Haiti and we're praying that they get it together over there.
This council is expected to be formed within the next 24 to 48 hours, according to State Department officials. But that was yesterday that it was believed that, hey, this could happen at any moment now. And as we've seen, we're still waiting word on who will be fully part of this transitional council. They will then appoint an interim prime minister to replace Ariel Henry. And once that person is appointed, then is when they can finally plan for the free and fair elections. But that's the major concern here is how long will this take? You have the gangs that are in control. We understand that Port-au-Prince has been calm since Ariel Henry has said that he would resign. But until a transitional council is in place, until a new prime minister is picked, he is technically still in charge, which is why the gangs are still in control of some areas. We know that the Haitian National Police was able to take back the seaport. That has helped as far as getting certain supplies to people. But it's certainly, the timeline is essentially unknown. We know the steps, we just don't know how long they'll take.
Man, that is sad, man. That is sad. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I really do. It was another great show. It was another great show. We're praying for Haiti, of course. We know that a lot is going on down there. And hopefully they can get it together. Hopefully the gangs, uh, they get what they want. I mean, regardless, they seem to get what they got what they wanted. They got what they wanted. They got the prime minister to step down. That's what they wanted. Now we'll see what happens from there. It'll be very interesting, and we'll be in tune with what's going on in Haiti. Thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 30 is in the books. We are on 3-0, baby. We're going on up. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream on your way out, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and make sure you guys turn on those notifications just in case you guys want to come through and see when I'm on the live and talk to me while I'm on here too, because we love tuning in and chatting with the people that tune in with me. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. This was a great episode. We on to the next one. Episode number 31 is coming up, and we will definitely have some spicy topics to talk about. And please feel free, if there's anything you guys want me to review on the channel, feel free to tag me on Instagram, or feel free to somehow tag me on YouTube, or send it to my email, uh, which I will tag down below. Make sure you guys leave a like on your way out. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And until next time, y'all have a beautiful rest of your night. Peace.